This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN Network. And joining me right now is Doug Janzen. He is the chairman and CEO of Aequus Pharmaceuticals. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: AQS on the TSX Venture and AQSZF on the OTCQB. And Aequus will be presenting at our upcoming virtual event, the SNN Network Canada virtual event, happening December 7th through 9, 2021. For more information and to register to see that presentation, please go to canada.snn.network. With that, Doug, thank you so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks, Robert.
It's great to have you. So this is our first time doing an interview together. So can you start us off with a quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there?
Sure. We founded Aequus, myself and a partner at the time, Ann Stevens, with kind of a mission of making a revenue-generating biotech company in Canada that could support itself off of revenues. Historically, we've been involved in traditional biotech. It takes 10 years, it takes $1 billion to get a product approved, those type of businesses, which are typical in our space. And we've been fortunate enough to have some successful companies that fit those models. And with Aequus, we really wanted to focus on bringing products into Canada that were available in markets outside. So Canada's a small market when it comes to prescription products and over-the-counter products. We have our own regulatory system here in Canada, despite drugs being approved by FDA or by European Medicines Agency. Canada still has its own regulator. So there's a fair amount of friction bringing products into the country, and that friction leads to opportunity. Because, I used kind of a line like Wall Street didn't wake up today wondering where that next $10 million Canadian product is, whereas we do. And so there's not a huge competition for assets. So we've been adding products to our bag steadily over the past years, and as you see from our quarterly revenues, they've been growing, and we're getting pretty close to operational break even, which was is kind of one of the goals for the business. Once we are at that position, we can then start making bigger bets or other bets, off of a stable cash flow as opposed to just always returning to the market for capital.
Absolutely. This model is pretty interesting. I've spoken with a few of your competitors in the past. What would you say makes Aequus unique and different compared to some of those peers?
The specialty pharma, like the kind of world we're in, is called specialty pharma, and it was all the rage, in 2015 when Valiant was $300 and Concordia was $111, and that kind of whole boom was spurred or created by companies accessing a whole bunch of equity capital and then competing with each other to go buy assets. And whenever you get into kind of those orgies of M&A that leads to rewriting people's projected EPS, and the market, the capital market follows, and then you just keep doing these deals, they always end the same way. They end with crappy deals because there's really just too much money sloshing around. And that's the same thing that happened in 2015. We looked at not the negatives of the model. Having cash flow is great for any business, but we kind of saw our opportunity by focusing on eye care and doing smaller transactions that weren't necessarily fueled by huge equity capital raises. I'm the largest shareholder. We're founders. We've put a lot of our own capital into business, and we kind of manage it that way. Trying to build a sustainable business that has a growing presence in Canadian eye care and continues to generate returns for investors.
Absolutely. And what's your background? I mean, how'd you come into all this?
So I'm a scientist by training, but I was a shitty scientist. So I got into finance. So I became, I started, after my finance degree, I was a biotech analyst and then investment banker. Covered biotech for a number of years in Toronto. I built the healthcare franchise for Cormark Securities, and really, I've always been involved in the business of science. So we have a number of companies that we've founded, that we've been involved with. Normally we're helping them out around licenses and kind of corporate activities. We've been involved in the founding of Accelera, which is a big name in Canada, Precision Nanosystems, a number of device companies in Ontario, Synaptive and Perimeter Medical. And it's always been that business of science. And lo and behold, with Aequus, again, it's the business. Like we're a commercial group. Our salespeople are in front of doctors, 8 calls a day. There's almost 10 sales reps per day. So that's 80 interactions with, super advanced, sophisticated clinicians on a daily basis. And we use those doctors for most of our business development. We ask them daily, what products are you trying to get into your practice that aren't available here in Canada? What do you see in conferences, around the world that you think would be a great product for Canada? For an ophthalmologist in Toronto, they're no different than one in Boston or London or, Berlin. That group of specialists all traffic together. They all read the same journals. They're approached by the same kind of organizations trying to do clinical trials. And we've had a lot of success using our clinicians to kind of highlight on products that they want brought into Canada. And that's where we stand. The business has been pretty well meat and potatoes up to this point. And now that, the financial kind of position for the business is stable, operationally, we could be, we're break even, operationally right now, in most months. And, with new product launches that have occurred earlier this year and things like that, we expect the business to be able to be break even, ongoing, over any kind of 3-month, 6-month period. Now, our goal is not to build a break-even business, doing 3 to 4 million in revenue. That's a place we want to be at, but we want to add larger value products. And earlier this, a few months ago, we announced a relationship with a company called Revision Therapeutics out of Boston, with a eye care program for a rare orphan genetic disease called Stargardt's. So one, it's devastating disease, affects children. They inevitably are blind, legally blind by the time they get into their teens, and there's no treatment. It's viewed as an orphan drug in the US, so there's lots of incentives for pharma companies to pursue treatments in those rare orphan diseases. And we're really looking forward to getting that program moving forward with our partners. So eye care is our main business, and we'll continue to grow out from this platform we have now of a stable business in front of clinicians daily, in front of reimbursement agencies in the country. And we're a small little eye care company that's looking to get bigger.
Very cool. Well, Doug, with that, where can our audience go and find more information about Aequus?
We have some on our website. That'd be the first step. And we're always open to take calls from new and current investors, and love to explain the story to folks.
And that's www.aequuspharma.ca, which is spelled AEQUUS pharma.ca. Doug, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck, stay safe, and I look forward to our next update.
Thanks, Robert. Have a great day.
You too.